It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level gaming. Second level.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the official Level 2 podcast, episode 16. My name is Keegan. I'm one half of Level 2 Gamers. I'll be hosting this podcast along with my other half, better half, one might say. Good old Tom. How you doing today, Tom?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I actually got some sleep last night, more than like 4 hours
That's rare
for the first
for you.
time. First time in a long time. Yeah, it's been a rough few days. I've been exhausted. I've been awake. Even nights where I went to bed early, I was still exhausted.
Because I immediately assumed it was your own fault that you
Usually
were
it is.
playing video games.
Usually
up
it
till
is.
4 o'clock.
Yeah, there's one night I went to bed at 9:30, woke up and I was still just like, ugh. But
Well, part of it as well is that you drink that serotonin stuff,
yeah,
right? To go to
melatonin.
sleep. Melatonin.
Melatonin.
Okay, whatever that
Yeah,
stuff is.
Neuro sleep has melatonin. It knocks you out, and then you get all groggy.
Yeah.
and you're like, "Ugh."
It's kind of like having a constant hangover when you wake up, but not as nauseous.
Yeah, I don't throw up because of it.
Right.
It's really nice when it knocks you out, though. Like, it's like, okay, I need to go to bed in like half an hour. Like, drink this, you put on fucking BBC nature documentary, and you're out within like, I don't know, 10 minutes.
What you
Because
trying to say about my country's
you
nature
guys got some
documentaries?
soothing voices to go to bed to.
Wow.
Especially that David Attenborough. I think
cannot
I've officially
deny.
watched every single thing he's done at this point, or pretty close. But then I see more on stuff.
He's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Yeah. So
I
there's
was-
plenty of stuff out there.
I got a new Apple TV, and the Netflix app has been updated compared to the old Apple TV, and there's a lot more stuff. I was like, holy crap, there's more. So I've been doing that. But let's start how we normally do. What have you been playing, doing, watching, seeing, believing?
Well, Keegan,
and
I'm glad
thinking.
you asked.
I'm very opinionated on this.
No, I've got bits and pieces squeezed in here and there.
You've been a busy man, from what I've heard.
I have, yeah.
Not
I am.
gaming-wise, just
I'm
in general.
knackered. In general, life is kicking me in the nuts right now, but I have managed to get some stuff done. I finished a season of a TV show, of course,
As usual.
and started
It's been a
new
while
one,
since we've done like one, because the last couple weeks have been special where we talked about like last week you talked about my dirty secrets.
Every week is special.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't talked about that stuff in a while. So,
Anyways, TV show.
The TV show is The Exorcist, which is based
Isn't it
upon
a movie?
the movie,
Okay,
The
I was like-
Exorcist. Yeah.
It's like a series of unfortunate events. How that was a movie. Well, technically,
I
that was
didn't. I
that was a
tried to
book, and
watch
then it was
that
a movie, and then
TV
it was a
show, and I've
TV
got
show.
to be honest, I couldn't do it.
Did you watch the movie?
Yes.
Did you like the movie?
I did.
That makes me sad because I like the movie. I'm kind of like I want to watch the TV show. I just haven't had time to sit down and actually watch
It's
it.
shit. Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
Well, so a lot of people love it, but there's something about it, and I know that it's probably more like in line with the original story and kind
Mm-hmm.
of the way it's supposed to be told, because it is really cleverly done. I just really was
Don't like it.
bored, and
Yeah.
they keep telling you the whole time you're watching it, like, why are you watching this? It's super depressing. You should not watch this, like as a joke. But
Yeah.
by halfay through, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I am fucking bored.
Like,
and
I'm done.
Depressed. Yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah, but no, the Exorcist TV show is actually decent. It is a direct runoff from the original movies. So much so that Reagan is actually in the Exorcist TV show.
So this probably won't surprise you. I've never seen The Exorcist.
Okay, so quick thing on
I
The
know.
Exorcist.
Is that that's the one with the floating girl, right?
I mean, amongst other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's what like when you see the album art, right? Or is that's
the
what,
album
that's,
art.
the album art, the cover art, whatever you want to call it, or the is that the TV one?
You
That's the TV one as well, right? Which comes out of the TV.
No, that's The Ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know my horror movies.
No. In fact, I don't even know the.
She floats above the bed, right? In The
At
Exorcist.
some point, yes. But
Okay.
the album cover, as you put it, is the. It's a street light coming down on a priest who's just
So
kind
I
of
was completely
staring up
wrong
at
in
a
it.
building. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
cool.
show you later.
Cool.
But
That good old album cover.
But it was so the thing about the original Exorcist movie was that it was widely regarded as being just a video nasty, if you will. There was people that actually protested it at the cinema. My dad went to see it when it was in the cinema, and
That's
there
the
were
theater for those of you in
protesters-
America.
Yeah, same thing, same difference. And people would be protesting outside and handing out flyers like this movie is the devil, the devil's work, etc. And actually, The Exorcist is the only movie that still to this day he cannot watch because he had the literal fear of God put in him during that. And so now he just can't do it. He can't do it at all. Won't
Really?
watch it. Yeah.
So I shouldn't watch it.
You probably would have a rough time with it. I mean, it's not like honestly.
Is it
it's,
jump
It's
scary or is it
mostly
atmospheric?
boring. No, it's not.
You say it's boring, but we realize how much
no.
of a
There's
wimp I
large
am.
open gaps of just not much going on, and
So the story wasn't that good.
the story was
Or the-
okay, but it was
not-
like half
the
the movie
pacing-
was
the pacing wasn't that good.
Pacing is a great pacing was off. But the scenes that are good are really good, and there's like these sort of
Because it's known as a classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know what it is because
I mean, there's like 5 sequels to it, but
Yeah.
it's there's one particular scene that was deleted from the first one. It was called the spider walk scene, and basically Reagan, who's the name of the girl that was possessed,
Ronald Reagan, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Walks down the stairs like backwards, like
Yeah.
in yoga position.
Oh, I know that from Family Guy did a parody of it with
Right. Yeah.
What's her
so
name?
that's like really they put it back in eventually,
Yeah.
but it was taken out because it was considered too scary so when we
what's
got
this,
it.
what's this movie rated? PG-13?
I'm pretty sure it was a hard R 18
Hard R?
in my country.
It's a hard R, not just
Hard R.
Hard R.
Yeah, but so when we got it, it was a banned movie in England at the time that we got it, and my buddy just happened to have like a VHS copy he'd gotten off back of a truck, and so we watched it. We were mostly bored, to be honest with you, but the TV show takes off from that, and the idea is basically it's a story of Reagan grows up, after her brush with Satan, and has
everyday
kids
stuff.
and stuff like that, and it's actually played by Gina Davis. Do you know who Gina Davis is?
No.
You've seen Beetlejuice,
Yes.
the girl of the parents.
I assume we're talking about the Tim Burton Beetlejuice, not the cartoon Beetlejuice.
Yeah. The lady is Gina Davis.
Cool.
So I was really happy to see her because I haven't seen her in anything since fucking Beetlejuice. So I'm just thinking, oh wow, it's that chick. And I originally, when I started watching, had no idea that she was Reagan. They don't really talk about it until like halfway through.
Yeah.
But basically her daughter gets possessed, and then there's a whole thing that goes on. There's priests and yada yada. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I did find myself falling asleep now and again just because I've been really tired lately. So there is some draggy moments, but for the most part, like it's really quite horrific, which is what I wanted. So that I watched first season done, 10 episodes. I do recommend it if you can find it. And then I
Netflix,
started. I watched it with
Neither.
nefarious means.
Cool. Okay.
And so
iTunes.
yeah, iTunes for sure.
That's the legal
And the one that I started last night after we finished it was Salem. Have you seen that?
Like the witch?
Yeah.
No, I've not. I don't
Surprise.
Salem Witch Trial. Yeah. I did like Easy A though. Is that about? That's about the Salem Witch Trials. Well, not
Kind of.
the Easy A is a modern version, but like that's based off the Crucible,
Right.
which I liked.
So
That's a book
Salem,
I actually
obviously, really interesting history, but I mean, witches in general, like, there's not been a lot in the way of witch stuff lately. I mean, Blair Witch, they had a remake, that was shit.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times I see when it talks about witch, it talks about like witchcraft as like a religion versus just like
Wiccan.
versus like the what we think of like witches as like cartoon witches,
Right.
like.
Well, this one was it's on WGN America, so I didn't have high hopes for it, I'll be honest. I just saw the album cover of it and I thought, wow, that actually looks interesting. It's a picture of a woman with like, I guess, like twigs for arms, and I thought that was kind of neat. It's not bad. It's a bit corny, a bit cheesy here and there, but the first episode so far, I'm digging it. I think I'm going to stick it through. It's on its 3rd season, so it must be doing something
I was gonna say
right.
something's good there.
So yeah, that's where I'm at TV-wise. Video game-wise, as you can imagine, the only thing I've had time to play and the only thing that I ever want to play is Resident Evil VR.
You made your I was gonna say you made your son. Wow, you made your wife play it.
I did. She didn't get very far, and it wasn't because she was scared. It was because she was nauseous.
Yeah.
Which
I could, because again that's one of those games with locomotion because you are actually moving.
you have to have your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have your legs, you're gonna
I don't
have
think
a bad time.
she hasn't played that much VR, has she?
Not at all.
Yeah.
So she did not have
Which
her
is
legs.
it's weird because if you think about it, like how much we've played, even like when I went to Christmas and because I didn't play for a little bit and then Christmas happened, I played a little bit there and I came back out and did it again and like I was nauseous, but not to the point of like I need to take it off. It was just like, okay, let me get it's like when you're seasick, you got to get your sea
Right.
legs back, and it's really really interesting because for us, I feel like we've gotten to the point now where we don't realize we've gotten our sea legs and we jump in something like, oh, this is fine. Like
Yeah.
again, you have that initial like, oh,
Well, someone mentioned something similar to that on a forum or whatever that I was reading, where they said it's interesting that if you go a really long time without playing a VR game and come back to it, your VR legs don't ever really go away. Like you could jump right back in,
like riding a bike.
which is useful. But no, I played that and I did my first what I would say marathon stint in VR. I played it for 5 hours
straight.
with the headset on,
Cool.
in the dark, by myself, except for my puppies that fucking attack me halfway through playing, and it was really terrifying.
By the way, I'm gonna eat some beef jerky. For those
that's
of you
fine.
who are listening, you might hear some talk. I'll try not to.
Yeah, so my puppies are like licking the visor in front of me because they thought it was my face somehow, and then they would like jump up on my shoulder. And I'm like, I could really do without this right now. I'm already nervous. But yeah, I got into, I guess, the third boss area for those of you that have played it, which is Mama, whatever her name is. I forget the name of the family, but the Mama lady, who's potentially the most crazy, and she also has a sort of a transformation, which I won't spoil for people that are watching. But she transforms into something I am terrified of, and
It's
therefore
the ocean. She transforms into the ocean.
that is one thing I am terrified of. But yeah, she does a transformation, and it scared the shit out of me. And I was trying to take her down. Like, there's 2 areas where you have to take her down.
Yeah.
I took down the first one. Second one, I kept getting killed and getting killed and getting killed to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna have to come back to this because I just don't have the patience. And I think I might actually have to go and explore outside of that area, try and get some more ammo, because I think it's an ammo thing. I don't have enough, so
Which-
I need to go get some more.
It's good and bad. It makes you. I mean, it's good because it makes you explore the house and other. Well,
And I know for a
don't know
fact
where-
that now there's areas I can go to in the main house that I couldn't go to before because I picked up a special key to go there. So that's kind of why I'm thinking it's worth going back to look and see if that opens any doors that give me some goodies.
literally any doors.
Yeah, I just need like a fucking rocket launcher or something to take that take that bitch out.
Like on what was it, Borderlands? Did you have the rocket launcher?
I love the
Borderlands.
rocket launcher in that game.
That game's a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Glad you're getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Took a while.
Yeah. I mean, well,
It's
granted
not good at the start. It gets better.
Well, granted, the first stream too, as ESPN. First stream too, we had some audio issues, so that's
As you say,
that-
audio issue, I check for potential video issue.
Our camera's been going off.
Yeah, you may have noticed we've had a couple shows lately where we've lost face cam for like VR and lost it for the podcast.
We don't know why. The camera's I've had this camera for years and never
it's
failed
a
us.
sturdy old camera and it's been pretty good. But we'll just look up and it'll say standby instead of record, and it's really scary now because we don't know when it's going to do it.
Yeah, but
you were saying,
anyways, Borderlands, the audio issue kind of got me down. But then once you get in that game and you're like, especially playing with friends, as you know, it's funny because the more I say it, the more I'm like, it's true. Like, I will not play a game without friends. Like, Ghost Recon. Probably wouldn't buy the game if I knew somebody else was going to get it. It's a cool game, but why would I not buy Metal Gear Solid 5
it's just
instead?
what you enjoy, man. It's just, it's for you, games are made better with friends along. For me, certain games are made better.
You're a loner.
But I also really I've played story-based narrative games since I was a kid, and I love a good story.
I'm going to tentatively announce this. Don't hold me to it, because I still got to figure some things out. But I'm hoping... my birthday is March 12th. I'm hoping...
Happy almost birthday.
Yeah, it's like, a month-ish away? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Month and a couple days.
Month-ish. I'm hoping to do a charity live stream that day. Or starting noon that day into Monday. 24-hour live stream. And one of the reasons I wanted to do it is it'll let me finish some single-player games that I've not done yet. Like Titanfall. I've been told I need to finish the Titanfall campaign. I have not done that.
You'll
and
like
there's
that.
a lot of indie games I want to get through, as well as obviously bringing you on and David and Cody and whoever else wants to join us throughout the session of just like doing these different games. So it'll be a normal stream on. My plan is to start at noon, the normal stream on Sunday at 9 o'clock. You guys all join, and whoever wants to hang out afterwards can. Probably David, because everybody else goes to bed like you, because you don't fart.
I don't fart.
And you have responsibilities, But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it'll let you guys know when it's actually official. But that's my plan right now, is to do a charity live stream for Able Gamers, 24-hour stream. Hoping I can
Our
pull it
second
off.
24-hour charity stream on the channel.
Yes.
First time you doing it.
Yes.
And
I
you saw how fatigued our good friend Jordan was when he did it. Are you nervous?
I am. I also am not going to play one game that's going to make me mad anyways.
What if you fall asleep during this?
Oh, I'll have plenty of bye.
Bye.
By the way, if you didn't see the Super Bowl commercial,
gonna say,
bye
do you wanna bring
bye,
that up?
bye
Yeah.
bye,
Bye, bye, bye.
bye. It's dual meaning. So it's at the end of the commercial. So it's bye bye, like we're leaving. Bye bye. It's bye bye. So it's the name, and it's also buy, like purchase, buy. Subliminal marketing at its best.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Never
Because
thought of that.
that's at the very end of the commercial, so it's buy, but it's also redoing the brand name because it's buy, so it's telling you the brand name twice, but it's also telling you to purchase buy, so buy.
Never even noticed that.
Yeah,
I love how into that advert you are that you
Yeah.
figured out all the intricacies of the wordplay there.
yeah.
But yeah, that's the Christopher Walken,
Christopher Walken, Justin Timberlake. It was a 30-second spot. I could only imagine how much you spent on
bunch
that.
of people jumped up on Keegan and were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, remember that drink that you drank all the time?"
That day I got 14 text messages, 14 or 15. I've had probably close to 20, 30 people buy, or at least try it because of me. Buy.
Bye.
Buy.
Try buy then. Buy.
Fun fact about it too, before I go into other stuff, but the gas station by me where I buy a lot of these, pretty much double the area, and I think it's because of me. So I buy pretty much 2 every day, 1 to 2, depending on how much sleep I got the night before. Because they have caffeine in them. They're similar to like a cup of green tea, so it's not a lot, but it's enough to get you awake without having that crash. And they went from 1 row of just stuff of these normal things, and this is actually a new flavor they added there. It's the Puna coconut pineapple. That one's a normal one that's already been there.
What's in this one?
Mango.
Mango's pretty good.
Yeah. The only one I don't like is blueberry. But they had 1 row of that. They added some new flavors, and then they have on top of it they have the bubbles, which I don't like the bubbles because I don't do carbonated drinks.
They're bubbly version of Bai?
Yeah.
Bubble Bai?
Yeah, bubble Bai.
So you have to buy Bubble
They
Bai?
also have dark Bai, which I don't know what that is.
Oh, they must be doing well as a company, I suppose.
I mean,
if you've got a couple million lying around to throw in the Super Bowl advert,
Yeah.
then you're doing something
They're
right.
doing something right. I emailed
Good for
them
them.
saying, hey, sponsor us. Hasn't worked yet.
I think they may be over our heads at this point.
Yeah.
I think if we'd have caught them maybe a little earlier, we'd be all
Maybe.
right. On the rise, perhaps. But I think they might
But
be.
they went,
It's kind of like
bye-bye.
asking Pepsi to sponsor us at this time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyways.
Bye.
That's Bai. How many? We need like a Bai counter. We're at like 40.
Bye. Okay. All right. So those were my picks of kind of what I've been up to. What about you?
I've been playing a lot of betas. As I've said, kind of on Facebook and Twitter, if you follow us at all, at Level 2 Gamers STL. Ubisoft has my heart right now, and that's because The Division has been, in my opinion, a fantastic game. Granted, I will accept that it is broken. It is still broken, but not as broken as it has been. And then the fact that they put their effort behind to fix.
Are you
the
being
major
hyperbolic there? Is it literally broken?
There
or
are
is it
still
just frustrating?
there are still things that are broken.
Are they
Yes.
game breaking glitches?
They are mission breaking glitches, not game, because you can always restart the mission, but it's frustrating when you're halfway through a mission and you got to go back to the beginning.
I'll accept that.
So-
as broken.
Yeah, they're broken.
Okay.
No more invisible walls for me, at least. Knock on wood. But I played a couple betas, and I probably will play a third beta of them. It's 2 games. For Honor, which I've got pre-ordered on the way.
You're stoked on that.
Got
right?
into the alpha, got into the press beta, got into the closed beta, and then open beta is when you guys are doing this is the weekend before.
And
so
you're looking
I'm
to stream that, so I've got to jump on that.
I'm hoping. I don't know how long the beta runs. If it runs through Sunday, we're good. If it ends on Sunday, we're not. So we'll figure that one out.
Okay.
The other thing I've been doing is Ghost Recon beta just happened. The closed beta there
For Wildlands.
for Wildlands. It was good. I played with David and James a lot, Delgado, and I put a post on my personal Facebook, kind of how I felt about it, and basically I feel like the game's good, but if they put a little bit more into it, it'd be great. And then they had a lot of tech issues, like connection issues, and I'm hoping since it was a tech
The
test,
tech issues, yeah, you can just put it down to being a beta.
that's what I'm chalking it up to. I'm hoping that's what I'm hoping at least. Doesn't mean that is the case, but that's what I'm hoping is it was a tech test.
I'd be less nervous about those type of issues than I would with like storyline type issues, because at this point, storyline's probably not going to get altered a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to release. But the technical
because those are
stuff
fixable,
can
like
always
we
be
talked about
figured out.
before. Those are fixable issues.
Right.
In a previous podcast, we talked about how kind of just.
I mean, maybe they only give you a small slice of it in the beta.
Yeah.
Because the Division beta didn't give you a whole lot.
The Division beta gave you kind of this. I feel like it's a similar chunk where this was the first like hour of the game, and they said it's one of the first worlds, and you, without spoiling too much, but basically, Ghost Recon it's a drug lord, so you work your way up the ladder to get to the. I think his name's El Sueño. Is the actual? He's really scary looking, by the way. The actual boss, but we fight the bosses, minion.
Okay.
So it's like there's like 4 levels.
So
to
is
get to
it
the
almost similar to Mercenaries in that nature, with a 52 card deck? You
Yep,
kind
you have
to
you have
build your way
regions
up?
and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
that each one owns, and it was really cool. So getting to kind of what I said about the game on my Facebook was, the game felt great. Like going in, sniping people, you can use a drone, you can mark people. That is cool. And I actually unlocked one of the perks near the end was where I could actually go in and mark people and say, hey, shoot this guy first, shoot this guy second, or I've got 1, you've got 2. Like I could put markers through my drone, which is really cool when you have a team, because I could be in the front of the base. David could be over here to the left. James could be over to the right. We can't see the same people. I'm like, I've got this guy. You get that guy. You get that guy. And we'll converge from there. Which is the coolest part of the game. The drone, I think, was the coolest, from my opinion, the coolest thing they had in the game. The bad about it is the piloting of vehicles is horrible. One of the glitches that I hope they fix is I would get in a car and it wouldn't go. Like, it would go, but it would, like, I'd be passed on a motorcycle by some AI trucks because my car doesn't go. And I failed 3 missions because of that. So, again, I'm hoping that's a fixable bug.
Right.
It happened quite a bit, and it's very frustrating.
It wasn't every time thing. It was just sometimes.
It was a lot of the time, though.
Okay.
And it's weird because, like, it would happen. It's always when I first booted up the game. So it always happened within the first, like, 30 minutes of playing the game, and then it would be fine. I don't know. I don't know what caused it. I don't know why, because when I played by myself, I had it. When I played with friends, I had it. But sometimes I didn't, and it's like, it didn't make sense of when it would happen. Because I initially just chalked it up to, like, maybe a bad connection between me, James, and David. Like, fair enough. The other thing I wish they had was, it felt like it was too easy. A lot of the missions were too easy to get through the waves of people. And you didn't have to be super stealthy, which is good and bad. I mean, I wish there was more reward for being stealthy. Like, if you go in and, like, pick off the first row of people, you like, go in silent, you can then push up to the next row, get them, so on and so forth. The problem I ran into is 2 things would happen. One, you'd be super stealthy, you'd pick off this row of people, and then you're done with the mission. Like, it was, you walk in, you're done. The second thing that would happen is you'd be super stealthy, we'd fuck up somehow, either you miss a shot, you alert people, whatever it may be, and then it's just a fucking mass of people coming in to get you.
It's a clusterfuck.
Yeah, and then you're trying to go out guns blazing, and that game's not made for guns blazing. Like, you can do it in a pinch, but you can't do it overall with it. So
Interesting.
I'm excited. I did pre-order it as well. I believe David's going to pick it up. I think James pre-ordered it. So I'm excited to look and get into that world. I don't think it'll grip me as much as The Division did. I don't have that same grasp to it. For Honor has that for me right now.
It took you a while to get that from The Division, though, remember, because you were skeptical of the Division as well, considering how much you'd hyped it up in your head before they released the beta.
Well, that's why I bought a PS4.
Right.
Was The Division.
So, but that you overcame pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
I officially passed 13 days, 23 minutes on my main character, and I think I just passed 14 hours on my second character last night.
Wow.
I played a lot of The Division.
Well, I happen to quite enjoy Tom Clancy games for the most part. I do find that sometimes they are a little buggy. I mean,
Which I can deal with buggy as long as it doesn't break the game.
And everything. Haven't played Siege.
Siege is on sale right now.
Yeah, I know. I noticed. I'm kind of.
I bought it. It had a free weekend this past weekend too.
I just don't know if I like the idea of it. Like, it's a decent idea for a multiplayer game.
That's how David was. I think it's a fantastic idea.
Really,
I like it.
I mean, it's kind of like Payday in a way.
Yeah.
But those are not usually my favorite types of.
Yeah, I got Payday for $5.
Yeah,
so
me too. That's the only reason I've got it.
Yeah.
I did buy it just to play with you guys, but I'm kind of.
That'll be on our channel at some point
skeptical
for streaming. The other thing, video-wise, movie-wise, TV-wise, that I've been watching, there's a show called Highway Through Hell. It's THRU, Through Hell. And it's about the Coquihalla Highway up in BC, British Columbia. Coquihalla. Yeah, they call it the Coke. C-O-Q. Coquihalla. It is one of the most dangerous passes through the Rocky Mountains, but is also the lifeline of the... It leads up to Alaska, essentially. So it's a lifeline up to Alaska into northern Canada. And, I mean, you're in northern Canada. The wrecks, there's snow, there's wrecks, there's avalanches. It's really absolutely terrifying, some of the wrecks they have. The first episode you watch, 2 people die.
Wow.
And they just fucking hit it hard. Like, cool, here we go.
Back to the days of Dangerous Catch.
Deadliest Catch.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of. Because it's a Discovery Channel show. I don't think it ever made it to the States. I think it's Canada only. Or if it made it to the States, I didn't know. Netflix. It's on Netflix. The first 4 seasons or 6 seasons, so I don't have 2 seasons, so I got to figure out. I tried to find it on YouTube, couldn't find them, so I got to figure out what the next ones are. But basically what it is it starts out with you follow this heavy wrecking crew. They go to these things, pick them up, flip over the trucks, whatever it may be. But you obviously have the drama thrown in there of, I'm not going to make money, so-and-so's mad at me, like that kind of I hate that kind of stuff thrown in these things because
it's too fake.
Yeah, the number one issue I had with this, I watched it for 4 seasons, so I obviously like the show, but the big issue I had was I felt like the owner, his name is Jamie Davis, like that's the company he follows, Jamie Davis Towing, and he felt like he was trying to impress you through the camera, like through his knowledge, He's like, yeah, we're going to get the airbags and we're going to flip this over because you got 45,000 pounds in there and you got to do it this way and that way. And just I guess it wasn't what he was, it's how he was saying it. It just, he felt like he was talking down to you and trying to say, yeah, look who I am. I'm better than like the other guy in there. His rival is Al Quiring. So Jamie Davis is the guy who spent $750,000 on a new truck, chromes everything out, makes everything look pretty. Al Quiring is the opposite. His truck's 5 years old, 6 years old, single man by himself doing his job. Versus Jamie's got the fleet of people. So it's like,
so we root for the underdog.
I root for Al. I hated Al at first because the show wants you to hate Al, but then he becomes a bigger part of the series as it goes along because, long story short, Jamie goes to another part of the country. He goes to Alberta, to the oil fields because there's more work there versus in BC. So he splits his crew up. So you see more of Al in BC, which I end up liking him. Al brings in his son, and the turnover rate of this place is ridiculous. That's the problem is every new season, there's 5 new people you got to learn. I'm like, who the hell?
The old ones are dying.
They're not dead. They quit.
Well,
even the one
to avoid dying.
Yeah. the one that surprised me the most was there's a guy. His name's Adam. He's been with Jamie since the get-go. Like they were the two that started pretty much the company together. He was the number one tower, and then Adam was told to go to Alberta. His family lived in BC, and that's 17 hours. 17
BC
hours
is British Columbia.
Yeah, okay. British Columbia. So West Coast, and then slightly middle of Canada.
I'm just trying to get my geography right.
Yeah. Above California and probably above North Dakota.
Okay.
Ish. Maybe not that far.
I know where one of those two places are.
North Dakota, right?
No.
Okay. But no, so at the end of the season, he was running the Alberta operation. I think he just had enough and kind of was like, hey, I'm done. And he went to go work for an opponent company that stayed in BC, which my head would have been like, why didn't Jamie just bring him back to BC? So I don't know if there's something else there. Like he's no longer in the show, and sucks because I love you
sound very invested.
He was probably my favorite person of all because he's the one consistent thing besides Jamie that's hung through. Like I said, I never really connected with Jamie just because he felt like this arrogant guy. Adam felt like I'm here to do my job. That's what I'm here to do. Like no bullshit. He was the guy who's like, I'm sad right now because my family's 17 hours away. I get to go home and see them for 2 days and come back here for 3 weeks. Like. That kind of shit. And I think partially it hit home with my dad. Like, my dad traveled as much. So I think that's part of the reason with it. But super sweet dude. Like, you see his family once or twice in the show. My favorite scene was the first time he came back from Alberta, or the first time they showed. I don't know if it's the first time he came back. It was his daughter's birthday, and he surprised her. And she goes, hey, Daddy, how you doing? And he goes, I got you something. Did you? What? And it was some action figure or doll, and the girl just goes running inside. Mommy, look what Daddy got me. And Adam turns the camera and goes, she only wanted me for the toys. So moments like that are awesome. Like that to me is not scripted because you can't script a child doing shit like that. So it's a decent show. I don't know if I'd recommend it. If you're into like
Deadliest Catch. It's called Highway Through Hell.
Highway Through Hell. If you're into Deadliest Catch, if you're into like those Discovery Reality, whatever the hell you want.
Truckers.
Yeah, whatever you want to call them, shows, then you'll probably like this. I got through 2 seasons and I started skipping episodes in season 3 because again it's the same thing over and over and over again, and you're just like, because they always have, granted on Netflix you see the title so you know what's going to happen, and they always end on the damn cliffhanger at the end of the season, like fork in the road. Will Jamie fire everybody? Probably, because that's what he does. Bring 2 people back.
I think the only show like that I still kind of watch when I can is you ever see River Monsters?
Of course, I've seen all of those
Jamie
shows.
Wade.
Yep.
Yeah. Fish on.
I don't watch it. I haven't watched that in a while, but Deadliest Catch has been I've watched every single season of Deadliest Catch. And
I never got into those longer based shows like Whale Wars and stuff like that.
Yeah, Whale Wars I did.
I do like River Monsters quite a bit just because I think Jeremy.
The other one I liked was I can't remember what they called it. Gold Rush maybe. It was about getting gold in Alaska. The first 2 seasons was good, and then it kind of like the characters you follow, or I say characters, the people you followed because they're technically not characters, but they are. Went somewhere else and it kind of lost its way.
You ever see Sister Wives?
No.
That was weird. The Mormons that were practicing polygamy.
No.
So it was like a dude with like 7 wives, and it's just about their kind of how their whole thing works out.
Yeah.
Or not works out, as the case usually is. And like they're like trying to get everything banned and annulled, like in that state that they're in, and they have to move, and It was interesting. The first season was good, but I never watched it after.
Well, it's kind of like I used to watch Breaking Amish.
Oh.
And that first season was really interesting. Then from there, it just got to the point where
I
it's
did like that,
it went from like a cool like learning about Amish culture and kind of the differences in them getting out to
Into Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that exactly.
I had the same thought. I mean, it's interesting because I didn't know that was a thing they did, where they were allowed to go just like be normal for a year or whatever it is, and decide if the Amish life is for them. That's kind of an awesome thing to do.
Have you ever hung out with Amish people?
I can't say that I have.
Weird question. So, story time.
Hung out is all right. So
story time.
the time Keegan hung out with Amish people.
So my family is from like Midwest Illinois. Like if you take Illinois, you split in half. They're pretty much in the middle of it. And my mom's uncle, Mr. Binder, would take me out. Took me and my brother one time. And this is the redneck side of my family, and I absolutely love it because I would not normally see this. He took us, his name's Johnny. He took us out to go see farms, and like I rode. Do you know what a combine is for the tractor?
Do. Combine harvester.
Yeah, I got to sit in one of those, like a brand new one. Like we're talking millions.
You got
of
a
dollars.
brand new combine harvester?
I got to sit in a brand new one.
Did someone give you the key?
No, I couldn't turn it on. I got to sit in though, and he told me all the buttons. And all. I mean, I was probably.
Do you know what song I'm referencing?
No.
I got a brand new combine harvester, and I'll give you the key. It's a really old song.
It sounds like it.
It's an English song. There you go.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
But I was probably 15 at the time because my brother was probably 7 or 8, so 15 or 16. So we do that. We go hang out with this farm. He hang out with this farming buddy because I didn't know this, but my mom's side of the family actually owns a farm. No idea. I don't know who inherited it, who runs it
That's
now.
where
but
all your previous pets have ended up. On that
on the farm. But then from there, he asked us if we want to go, there's an Amish auction that we could go to because furniture is something they make really well.
Make all kinds of shit really well. Yeah.
So we went to this auction and hung out and kind of, again, this is all weird to me because being the city boy, I don't see this kind of stuff at all. And it was just like horse and buggies. Like you know of it, but seeing it is a different experience.
Yeah.
So then from there, we went from the auction house. One of the guys there was like, hey, do you want to come back and let me show you kind of how we live and like educate you? Which I thought was amazing. This kid with his iPod in the car and all that kind of stuff. And I remember asking the guys like, so do you not believe in technology, or what's your thoughts on it? Like, why do you stay the way you do? And he's like, it's not that we don't believe it exists, because it exists. Like, we can't deny there's cars and all this kind of stuff. He goes, but we feel that it taints our view and taints the way the world is run because of technology. And I was like, that's fair enough. Like, I kind of understand it. Granted, it's 15.
It's just a Puritan attitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, they're just like a million Ron from Parks and Recs, and they love it. And it's cool in a way.
There's nothing wrong
I don't
with
like
it.
the shunning. The shunning
Yes.
is not something I'm a fan of, but other than
that's where I have the issues is some of the religious stuff.
the cultier aspects of it are a little upsetting, but yeah.
But obviously, that's when I found out there's different ones. Like, there's Amish, there's Mennonites. Like, because some of them, I was like, so why do some people have lights and why do some people not? And that, because the people that didn't wear lanterns, all that kind of stuff. And he explained it to me. I was like, oh, so I learned more about the Amish in a 2-hour period outside of school than I did in school at any point in time.
Or from a TV show.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
Well, Breaking Amish, I learned quite a bit. As in, don't piss people off. But no, that was a fun experience just because it's something I A, didn't know I'd get to do. B, just out of my norm, like out of comfort zone.
I'd be
love
quite
that kind of
interested
stuff.
in having an experience like that, going to see.
Well, let's go. We probably can't film it because they probably
they wouldn't be.
Yeah, they would not be happy with that.
Show up like, this is Keegan and Tom with some Amish people.
Hey,
send
selfies.
Deegan and Dom instead.
Yeah, but
oh my gosh, Deegan, he has no light bulbs at all.
he has a really cool hat though, Dom. And he can build a barn in 20 minutes flat.
It's funny. I was doing some training as part of my job fairly recently, and one of our trainees was asking about our show, and I give him a link and everything, and he said, so is your name Tom or Dom? And he wasn't sure because he'd seen the channel trailer. Yeah. It's like, no, that's a stupid name that we made up for fun. So I had to explain that. But yeah, it is.
I feel like Dom and Deegan need to come back, like just do a one-off
at some
every
point.
so often.
At some point,
but anyways, that's my Amish. That's what I'm doing.
That's your Amish.
That's my Amish. That's my Amish story. That's what I've been doing.
That's like a catchphrase.
That's my Amish.
That's my Amish. That's gonna be your new catchphrase.
Amish. I don't know if that'd fit my cat.
So we have a
bonus
level
question
round. What is it?
What is it?
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna blow smoke in your face. Come on.
The bonus level. Oh god, I have so many notifications when I locked my phone. It is something kind of interesting. It's not a hot topic, not one of these things we're going to get
one of our
uppity
silly
about.
ones,
It's just a little fun one. If you could live in a video game world, what would it be and why?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well then, so you have to live in a video game world.
Yes, you're not a character. You are in that world. You are you in that
So
world.
I am me in that world.
Yes.
That might be weird. So
You'd be. My thought is you become the art style of that world, though, too. So you'd fit into that world.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah, don't make me in the type of world that I'm.
So
thinking of.
So what you're saying is don't make Mario next to normal humans.
No, definitely don't put Mario next to normal humans. That's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Keegan. So no, but I think I've kind of answered this before. I feel like this is a question we maybe had like right at the beginning of when Jordan was with us. But I can elaborate because I have the same answer I think that I did previously. And so there's. Okay, so obviously a lot of video game worlds are not a good time. Video games are designed to test you, and most of them have enemies and things like that. But I think I like the idea of being in a Final Fantasy game world, that is. And I'm not entirely sure which one, because there are many to choose from, obviously. I don't think I could say which particular Final Fantasy world I'd rather be in, although, I mean, any of the ones that have, like,
Episode Dusk
futuristic flying airships and stuff would be cool. But here's why. Because there's a TV show. I've already talked about it before. Sword Art Online, which is basically that. It's basically like this kid that just puts on this kind of VR headset, but it goes into your
Avatar style.
into your brain. Yeah. And then you end up in this game, and I'm just watching like the beginning part of that show. He's kind of going through and just learning things, like learning how to like craft and learning how to use a sword for the first time, and they're fighting like low level enemies, and it's all like a group effort, and they groups up with people. I'm like, dude, that would be so fun. Like if you could do that for real, like everything felt real. So like that style of like, I guess a JRPG world, or specifically Final Fantasy, would be incredible. Of course, the downsides to it, as far as I'm concerned, are obviously with the sort of a traditional Final Fantasy game, you get attacked every like 30 seconds. So I don't know how well I'd get on with my life being attacked every 30 seconds by a random beastie or 5. And but again, knowing that all this fighting is going to make me like stronger, and then I can pick up better weapons. Yeah, like being a more powerful entity in that universe through that hard work might be worth it. But it would make me nervous that I had to worry about monsters every 30 seconds. But then again, you end up in a town or whatever, and it's chill. It's pretty chill there, yeah. And you could just buy a house or whatever, and live happily ever after, just crafting things or selling your wares. So I really like the idea of that. I think also with the Final Fantasies, they're very futuristic in a way. They're not like, it's not like Elder Scrolls or whatever, where you're basically
it's
like
a long
medieval.
time ago in a galaxy far, far away, actually.
There's magic in Final Fantasy.
I was going to point out that movie franchises don't count during this, so you can't say Star Wars.
That's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. Although you could say Battlefront. That would work.
Yeah, but that includes the Star Wars
universe.
So
no movie game franchises.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the idea of kind of leveling up and go to different areas is exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would think that would be a fun thing. I like that there's magic in the Final Fantasy world, and it's different to like Elder Scrolls magic. I like that everything's a little bit steampunky, and the NPCs are ridiculous, so that would be kind of interesting. But yeah, I would say first of all, watch Sword Art Online to know exactly what I'm feeling about it. But
there's an anime.
It is an anime.
It's anime in a game. Is the game based on the anime, or is the anime based on the game?
It's an anime that has a game based on the anime, but it's a really good anime. And like I said, basically they just have to clear these like 100 floors of this place.
Yeah.
But it's that's what I'd go for. I think Final Fantasy, because then I could wear like cool clothes and have big weapons and friends.
I just pictured you being the most like stereotypical JRPG character ever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I would be absolutely like, yeah, that. And just yeah, big sword swings, you name it. And I would want a sword that was at least twice the size of my body.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
But yeah,
I was gonna make a short joke there, saying that's not that too hard to do.
That's just bring up their sword, really. But no, I think that'd be awesome, and it's just it's cool. So they're also very varied Final Fantasy worlds, because you're gonna have like some grassy areas, some snowy areas, some sandy areas. It's almost like Mario or whatever, where you have like these different
Worlds.
kind of hub worlds. Yeah, and so that'd be nice too. There's some variation there in your
You're not in the same
in your
thing the whole
travels.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that would be my thing.
Cool. Mine, my initial gut reaction was Mario, as is.
Always.
Just because I think it'd be fun to live in the Mushroom Kingdom, because, let's be honest, the Mushroom Kingdom has a lot of cool characters. You have Toad, you have Shy Guy, you have Koopas, like, just hanging out with those and kind of seeing what their personalities would be, I think would be fun. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, well, that'd get boring pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And if you think about how the Mushroom Kingdom is in Mario games, is like, you don't hang out in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Death traps
that
everywhere.
often. Yeah. So the more I thought about it, my next thing was
there
like,
is some really good racing
oh yeah,
to be had.
oh yeah. My next one was like Donkey Kong. Like, keeping a Nintendo franchise, Donkey
That's
Kong
just
would be a good one,
Donkey Kong.
but it's just like, yeah, that was boring. So initially, my final thought was Elder
You're
Scrolls.
say the Division, aren't you?
No, Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
Well, I thought of the Division. The reason I didn't say the Division was because I would not want to live with the fucking virus.
That is terrifying. Yeah.
So that's a
you
world
are
I do not wanna
shooting
live in.
people on a regular basis.
I also thought about Fallout, but I was like, just because it'd be cool to explore that world, but I wouldn't want to live in that world.
Yeah, no, Fallout's way too scary.
Because you die pretty quickly.
Way too scary.
But Elder Scrolls, just because, two reasons for Elder Scrolls, big reasons. One, the world is so fleshed out, because it's a large, Tamriel is a big ass world.
It really is.
And it's so cool with just the sheer size that I feel like I would never get bored and go exploring. That's the second thing, is the kind of like you were saying, the differentiating areas that you're not in the same thing, and you could go exploring and say, oh, I want to go live in the north now.
There's just random treasure
Yeah.
everywhere. But
And-
you do have the same difficulties of the Final Fantasy, or the RPG world,
Yeah.
I suppose, where there are enemies like all over the place.
But you don't have to leave your town if you don't want to. You can hang out.
That's
Especially
true.
now, they let you build houses. Well, they will
Depends
let
on
you
the
build
town,
houses.
though, because some of those towns have their own problems.
Yeah.
Because when you go in there, there's usually at least 5 people that are like, there are vampires that come and kill people at
Yeah.
night. Can you take them out, please? Like, so they all have their own individual
But once you take them out, you're
problems.
fine.
Yeah.
Then you're mayor of that town.
Well, you have to wait for a hero to do that.
Then you're mayor of that
unless
town.
you do it, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I would say Elder Scrolls, just because of the depth of that game, kind of like you were saying, the crafting system would be fun to learn. I just, if we're talking just strictly world perspective, I think it's got the most to give you when it comes to, again, variety and just the enjoyment I'd get from exploring that world and seeing the
Would
vistas and all that
you
kind of stuff.
learn magic and stuff like that, or
Probably.
would you want to be like a soldier of some kind?
Pause. Be right back. Our camera shut off. And we're back. Sorry, I had to turn the camera back on. Those of you who are listening,
We might need a new camera, guys.
those of you who are listening, there might be a bit of a jump there because our camera shut off. But no, you're asking me if I do magic, and I would, just because it'd be fun. I don't know the only part about the Elder Scrolls, and the only game I've played is Elder Scrolls Online, so that's all I know. But Molag Bal kind of is terrifying.
Yeah, I mean the deities of that world are pretty
Yeah.
terrifying. The fact that there are actual.
But I would
gods.
love to meet Lyris. I'd love to meet the Prophet. Can't remember what his real name is now. It's gonna
Muhammad.
no, from Elder Scrolls.
I think I only remember his name just being the Prophet. To be honest with you,
He tells you his name near the end of it. And I forget
It's been
what
a
it is.
while.
But
You're specifically referring to ESO Online,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Or
well-
ESO.
yeah,
Um,
that's the only game I've played.
I
But
hate when people say ATM machines. Shame on me for saying that.
ESO Online,
ESO
Elder Scrolls Online.
ESO Online. But what about... Okay, so the thing is, though, ESO is medieval
Mm-hmm.
in nature. How you dealing with that situation?
You just deal with it. I mean, there's
Just be medieval?
yeah, because
No
you have
technology?
You have fucking sick armor. You have magic. You don't need technology when you have magic.
Don't need working plumbing.
No.
Okay. Just poop
There's-
in a hole.
You poop in the river and it just flushes downstream.
Okay.
There's the one I'm thinking that now that they say that there's this one I can't remember if it's a dungeon or a delve or whatever, but basically there's a stream that cuts straight through it, and that's what I picture. It's just like running water. Just put a little outhouse up there, and the hole goes straight through and just whoop sweeps it away,
Yeah.
and you're good.
Gotta love that stream poop.
Yep,
Wow.
that's not what I do.
Okay, so Elder Scrolls it is. I wouldn't have a bad time in the Elder Scrolls universe. I mean, there would be certain. See, I'm a creature of habit, so
Yeah.
I don't camp. Right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of camping that goes on. There's a lot of camping in Final Fantasy,
We're
but I feel
gonna
like
make Tom go camping at some point.
I feel like they have like airships and shit. So I would just get
my
an
goal,
airship.
one of my goals, during this channel is to make you. We're gonna go on a trip. We're gonna go out to like the Grand Canyon or somewhere, some national park. Go camping for a week, and record you and see what happens.
No.
We'll see a side of Tom you didn't know existed.
You won't want to see it. No.
You'll be pooping in a creek.
I can't.
I can't poop in a creek.
I can't poop in creeks, Keegan. I just can't. I just hate camping. I don't know what it is. Everyone always wants to go, like, Jess likes camping.
It's a lot of fun.
That's my wife, and my whole family likes camping, like the American
side.
So
would you camp if you were in an RV? I know
that's
that doesn't really count,
camping.
But would you do that?
If there's a TV and electricity, I'm down. Let's do it. I'm all for it. Showers, yes, but like camping, I fucking hate it. I can't do it.
See, I've
done it. Don't get me wrong. This is not me just saying it sounds horrible. I've done it enough times to know it's horrible. So at least 3 or 4 times.
I've camped.
Hate it every time.
3 or 4 times in my life. One of them, the first time I ever went, was with my family, and my mom was 9 months pregnant with my brother. That was
That's
an
not fun to
experience.
camp,
No,
yeah.
I can't remember why we did
You
it.
don't
either.
let pregnant ladies go camping.
No,
not at all.
Apparently, you don't let anybody go camping.
Popping going on around here. I think my computer just exploded.
Boom.
Just add to the technical issues today. Okay.
But then the other thing is with camping, we used to go on a canoe trip. So that's to me, it's like I like camping because you can explore areas that you don't normally get to see, which is why I kind of like the Elder Scrolls, because there could be a long time between towns, and you could go to the wilderness and see all these cool things. Granted, a lot of things want to kill you, but it's just the coolest thing to me in Elder Scrolls when I first played the very first time. I was in Aldemary Dominion, and I went up over a ridge, and to me it wasn't that big of a mountain. Like it was a slow ascent, and then I get up to the top here, and I turn to the right, and I'm just fucking looking over the ocean. Like I'm 300 feet in the air. Just like shit like that I love. When I go to, there's a trail out near us in Weldon Springs called Lewis and Clark. There's a trail, the trail goes by it, but it's slightly off the trail, and I would say maybe not even a quarter mile off the trail. And there's an area you can go and stand over in the bluff and look down on the river, and it's so cool. Like the stuff like that, I think nature is very beautiful, and that's why I love being
you're a
out in
nature
it.
guy.
Kind of. I mean, I like not being in nature, but I also like
I like
nature in doses.
I like nature. Nature hates me.
We're gonna go to Lewis and Clark at some point.
No, we're not.
I went one time after it rained, and it was a disaster.
It's a disaster?
Yeah.
How was it a disaster?
Because the trail was flooded. So like the water was up to my knees and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and I was trying to run.
No.
Didn't work. But other worlds I'd love to live in. I mean, the one I'm really curious and I think would be fun to live in just because the characters that are in it would be like a Banjo-Kazooie, a ukulele.
Like the cartoon world?
Yeah, because it'd be a lot of fun to hang out with like the person. That would get really annoying real quick though.
It's already annoying. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do you not watch? Do you not play Banjo-Kazooie?
I did. I just don't remember any of
Gruntilda.
it. I played it when it came out.
They don't talk. They do that.
Zelda would be interesting as well.
Yeah, Zelda would be a fun one. You just have to deal with Ganon pretty much in Zelda. That's what I've learned. That's kind of it. But,
I mean, there's the occasional like skull spider or whatever, but for the most part, it's.
I mean, exploration games in general would be a lot of fun. I think Halo to a certain
RPG is the way to go.
Halo to a certain extent would be fun.
Because then you have to deal with the flood, and no one wants to deal with the flood. Not even Master Chief wants to deal with the flood.
I didn't say you had to make it that far into the game.
Well, they're still there, though.
Yeah, but if you don't fuck with them...
What about Mass Effect?
I've never played, so I don't know.
So Mass Effect is...
Bioshock?
No, fuck that. No way. But Mass Effect is essentially just like... Well, I'd say it's about as close to Star Wars as you can get without
being
chief in a movie franchise, because it is essentially just like there's a bunch of planets that are all fully formed, and you have federations, and they travel around like Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever. But it's a fully fledged thing, and the thing about it is, there's like, even though there is like obviously overarching threats, there are people dealing with that shit. So you could probably just pick a planet that you like, and they have like. There's lots of human elements to the Mass Effect world, you know, like they have like bars and strip clubs and things like that, and it's just like a normal kind of world with sci-fi twist, and the fact that you get to hang out with aliens. So I think Mass Effect would be kind of a good runner-up.
Speaking of bars and strip clubs, GTA 5 would be fun. Los Santos would be a fun place to live.
I wouldn't like to feel like I was going to get murdered any
second. The crime.
Like, yeah, if you could erase crime from that game, sure. I mean, basically, it's fucking California.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you hear about the business that used the GTA 5 picture as their picture of California?
No.
So it's on Twitter. There's a I can't remember the name of the company. But there's a company that basically the building is in GTA 5. Obviously, they got to change the name of it, and they use that as their Twitter picture.
That's kind of cool.
And they didn't know though.
Oh,
Like they had no idea it was GTA 5. They're like, come hang out at blah 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 blah. Here's our building.
well, when
Which
you
is
see
true.
mods and stuff that you can make a GTA universe look really scary real, like what do you call it? Battlefront levels of kind of realism, the photorealism. By the way, Battlefront 2 announced. How do you feel about that?
I'm not gonna buy it.
You're not,
No, I got too burned.
even though
I
it
got
has a
too
single
burned.
player campaign.
I don't care. I mean, that doesn't matter to me.
It does to me.
But so
I'm more inclined to buy it because it has a single player
So-
campaign.
one, I would have bought it if the DLC was better.
Okay,
Period.
but you kind of did that to yourself. To be fair,
Yes, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm gonna use Division as an example because that's the game that has hooked me. Division, base game was all right, minus technical issues. It was a decent story, decent game, good fun game loop. Got a little repetitive, but DLC brought me back to that game, and I got excited because of that. Battlefront from the get go felt like half a game. I defended it to the death a few times, and it got to the point where I couldn't anymore because I'm like, I can't defend or justify what I spent on this game because I feel like I'm not getting my money's worth out of it.
so similar to Destiny in that sense.
Yeah, Destiny I didn't pay for. Destiny I got it for Christmas, but yeah.
Not monetarily,
yeah.
but like in terms of it felt like an unfinished game.
I was like, it's just not ready to go. And looking back on it, yes, it is my fault about the season pass, about the gold edition, did all that kind of stuff. But going back to the DLC, like I said, the planets are cool. It's awesome. It's gorgeous looking. But the gameplay, you can make a game look fantastic. If the gameplay is not there, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's what it felt like. It was too generic of a shooter. And I
did
never
have a
did the
problem
ground
with that.
battle.
I'm with you because I'm a big Battlefield fan, and I did feel after playing Battlefront that it did not have the same level of depth as a Battlefield game at all.
And I think partially that's because they knew Star Wars would draw more people in.
Yeah.
And
they just
fair
had
enough.
to. I mean, when it comes to like army games and things like that as well, they just gave you more options. I think as far as weaponry and things. But for Star Wars, there's only so much you can do.
Because I didn't have an issue like with the DLC. I didn't have the issue of us giving us new planets. Didn't have the issue of that because I thought that was cool. Especially the Death Star. Death Star is probably my favorite DLC they launched. The issue I had with it was the game modes were the exact same thing every time,
Right.
and the game modes that were in the game were the same thing varied. Like,
Not enough variation.
yeah, I don't know really what they
It
would.
was a
have
fucking
done
pretty
differently.
game, though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, but that prettiness wears off quickly.
Yeah. I mean,
look
like
at you.
to
Your prettiness
know.
worn off a few years ago.
I like to know that games that pretty can be made,
Yes,
but
But did they put too much effort
Gameplay
there?
didn't live up to it.
And that's-
Although I did really like the X-wing VR mission.
yeah, the flying part is really cool.
Hmm.
The VR mission was really cool, but that is, to give you an idea, in that game I play the fighter squadron, which is my number one mode because I'm way better in a spaceship than I am on the ground, and then I do the walker assault. That's it. I don't do cargo. I don't do. We do hero versus villain sometimes just so you can play as a hero, but like I don't like that game mode. Like again, it just felt like No Man's Sky. It felt like a wide ocean, but it was as deep as a puddle, and it's just like, come on. Especially with it. And it frustrates me more with the potential the franchise has. That's what gets me is like, this game looks so good. This game, if it played well, it would have nailed it.
I think we're still waiting
But-
for the perfect Star Wars game.
Visceral's working on one. Somebody else is working on one.
Yeah, I think it would be really nice because I quite like the Force Unleashed and stuff like that.
Because my concern with Star Wars Battlefront 2, it's going to be kind of like Titanfall 2 with these the single player campaign, is they're going to tack that on and said, everything else is the same. Here's this. Pay another $60. Here's a season pass.
I don't think
it's $60.
Titanfall 2 falls in that category. I think that Titanfall 2 improved enough of the multiplayer to make it different.
I feel like, but the reason I'm saying that more than the reason they added the single player is because the players demanded it.
Right.
And I think that's why they're doing it this time is because I guarantee if they didn't have to.
Again, the Titanfall 2 single player turned out to be one of the greatest single players of the
played it
year.
yet, so.
Well, when you play it, you'll
Yeah.
know. So if they can
24
pull it
live
off,
stream.
if they can pull it off with the excitement level of the Titanfall
Yes.
2 campaign, it at least hopefully will make it worth the $60.
Yes, and what got me was like when you do I can't remember what they called them, the little mission things, like the wave based ones. You get a little bit of story there of what's going on, and that would have been cool to have, like the Galactic Conquest from Battlefront 1 and 2. And I hate comparing it to the older ones, but it's the same franchise essentially. That was such a cool feeling of going from planet to planet and seeing and taking over. And if you could do that, even if when you land on the planet, you're only in this tiny little section of the planet, because you can't obviously fight a whole planet.
Right.
That'd be too much. That would be awesome, because then you're like, okay, I'm actually pushing back the Empire or whatever it may be.
Feel like you actually have a goal.
Yeah.
Right.
And they did come out and say they're gonna attach this with all eras. So, well, I don't know if they include the original trilogy in there, because the first one did that, but they did say multiple eras. So I have a feeling, obviously, new one will be there because it's going to tie in with the movie. Makes sense, because why not jump on the hype train? That's what we did.
I think Rogue One is ripe for some really good levels, to be honest. You've seen
They won't do Rogue One though.
But they should, is what I'm saying.
They won't.
It would be good.
They're going to tie it into episode 8.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, assuming it comes out then, or they'll wait till the trilogy's done, tied into that. Because the question is, how far in development is this game? Is this game coming out
well,
this
it's
year?
supposed to be releasing at the end of the year.
That's what I'm saying. If it's coming out this year, that makes sense.
I think a lot of people are just waiting for the Knights of the Old Republic 2.
I've never played that one.
I haven't played the first one either, but it's BioWare, and BioWare can do no wrong, pretty much. So
I would love, like, what my perfect Star Wars game essentially would be getting planet to planet hopping, go to these different worlds in your spaceship, either with a squadron of people, and you do missions there, and you come back to the, like, say you have the main ship is your headquarters, or whatever you want to call it. It's your main hub that you come back to. But then you have, say, 6 missions you can choose from, and each mission has a consequence to something else, because it's all about politics. Star Wars is all politics.
Which is why, if they literally reskinned Mass Effect as a Star Wars game, it would work.
Yeah. So if you took Star Wars and say, hey, there's a fight on Tatooine. If you go do this, the people in Alderaan aren't going to like you because you chose them over this. And I feel like that would be a cool
Some cause
thing.
and effect.
Yeah, and then people at Alderaan won't help you when you go do this mission and all that kind of stuff. And I think that would be really fun, because then it adds that interplay of, like,
you really
like
have to get Mass Effect Andromeda. You know that, right? I know that you're up in air about it because you've never played one, but I swear to God, if you think that sounds like a good game, get Mass Effect, because that's what that is.
Single player. That's my problem.
So, it's good.
I won't play it.
You will fucking play it, trust me. I think they may even have multiplayer. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I'll follow Mass Effect.
But, yeah, one of my favorite trilogies of all time, Mass Effect. Highly recommend
You know
it.
my favorite trilogy of all time? Mario Party 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Best trilogy ever made.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
real
Star Wars disagrees with you. But okay.
No. But, yeah, I don't have anything else. I feel like
No, it's a short one today. Sorry about the weirdness in the middle there.
it happens.
It happens. We need to figure out why it's happening and try and stop it, or get a new
I might
thing.
look at settings on the camera.
Yeah.
But those of you who are listening on iTunes, those of you who are watching on YouTube, hi.
Hello.
You guys can go to iTunes and or Google Play and or Stitcher and or SoundCloud and see us. Go search Level 2 Podcast. You'll find it. It's got our faces. It's got our names. It's got our identity. It's got a lot of things.
L2G somewhere.
L2G.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or Level 2 Podcast.
Yeah. And then if you're listening to us currently and not watching us, you can over to level2gamers.com and see us.
Yeah.
So you can watch this podcast, which I don't know why you'd watch it again, but you could. You can watch it again on YouTube or any other podcast on previous rounds, as well as all the videos we put up Monday through Friday, and streams are all there. Everything's up there. Everything's on
there.
YouTube.
It's a good place to dive in.
It's a place to hold it.
Faux show.
So, shameless plug time. Twitter, at Level2GamersSTL. You can follow us on there. You can support us on Patreon if you want to. Patreon.com/Level2GamersSTL. It is a wonderful thing that those people who support us, it's quite fantastic.
Yeah. We have some decent support on Patreon.
We do.
good.
In the fact that, like, I'm officially going to Wizard World. I assume you're going to be going because you've talked about going. So I officially bought my ticket, essentially. So
I haven't done that yet.
I've got my ticket ready.
I'll get
to
on that gravy train at some point.
I'm waiting for it to come in. I got it for Christmas. My mom's like, tell me when you want to buy it, because we requested press passes. I don't think we're going to get them. So I was like, I want to do it before they sell out, which I don't think will be an issue. We'll see though. So going there. Indie PopCon is in July. I will be going. Hopefully you'll be going with me. You're planning on that as well.
Plan.
That'll be a lot of fun. So, but Wizard World is official. You can follow us on Patreon and support us on Patreon, because anytime we go to convention, it gets quite pricey. I mean, I hate begging for, I guess we're not begging for money, but I hate asking for money just because it feels weird. But that money we do get, we're saving up right now for Indie PopCon, for Wizard World, so we can go and give you guys some cool content, maybe interview some cool people. I reached out to Able Gamers today saying, hey, are you going to be at any of these two conventions?
Oh, yeah. While we're on the subject of Able Gamers, let's give props to Matissa and Tigrado for donating. Keegan
I did a thing, I didn't even know what I did.
He posted on Facebook and somehow like added in a link for Able Gamers.
Well, so what happened was I talked about Able Gamers for something. I said something for charity. I think I used the word charity.
We were talking about the 24-hour live stream, wasn't it? No, it wasn't.
No, it was just me. It was me talking. It was me talking about I may have an unorthodox path, but this is what I'm going to do. And one of the things was like, I'm going to make a difference in the world, whether it's through charity or something else. And it's like, hey, you talked about charity. Do you want to put a donation link in here or put a thing in here? And I typed in Able Gamers, and because my thought was like, it wasn't going to add to the post. It's just going to be something that when I wanted to do it, like make a donation post, it would auto put it there. But apparently, put it down in the thing and.
I didn't see it. I didn't even know it was a thing. I just saw underneath it said people had donated, and I was like, oh, wow. That's
so you can
really
donate
cool.
on the link right there.
So a couple of our good friends donated to Able Gamers just because you fucked up on a Facebook post.
Yeah, I love Able Gamers.
There you go.
I mean, one of the things that's
Best
really
fans in the
cool
world.
with the company we work for is they will actually, for our time live streaming, since we have an Able Gamers link in every single live stream we do, that time then gets turned into cash, which then gets turned into Able Gamers. So as of the month of January, from the live streams we've done, we've raised over $150.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully, going to be more. I'm going to actually have a goal when I do the 24-hour live stream. I don't know what it is. I'm going to try and think of a reasonable one.
10 cents every time you die.
That's around $10,000. That's not going to work. But I have a goal in mind that we're going to shoot for. But if you guys do want to support anybody, even before us, go support Able Gamers. They're doing some cool things. They actually released a post today of a dude being able to play World of Warcraft for the first time ever because he is a quadriplegic.
Quad is all four.
All four.
Power is just one half of the other.
I think it's his arms that don't work. I'm not
Paraplegic.
sure. I'd have to double check. But basically, he could play World of Warcraft for the first time ever. And they put the quote from him was, "You mean I can play Warcraft?" And underneath, it's the Able Gamers guy going, "Yeah." It's wonderful. Like stuff like that where we take it for granted that we can play whatever we want and not everybody gets to. So that was really cool. They posted that this morning when we were recording it. So go support them. AbleGamers.com if you have more and want more information.
Yeah.
They're very active on Twitter. Check them out.
Super nice folks.
Love those guys. Again, I'm hoping to meet them when we go to PopCon. Craig, I've talked to him many times, the guy who kind of runs the show there. Never met the dude, but I've talked to him many times in emails on Facebook and Twitter. So.
Yeah. We're going to try and get them on so they could talk a little bit about the charity and explain a little bit of sort of some of the stuff they've done. And
yes.
If we can collar them. So
yeah.
We'll do our best. We did pretty good last time.
Yeah. And then Indie PopCon, one of the cool things, this is perfect timing. They tweet about this, but they have Samurai Jack, the voice of Samurai Jack, going there. And those of you who don't know, the same day they announced Samurai Jack going, Samurai Jack announced season 5.
I saw that.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah.
And Indie PopCon goes, well, damn, we timed that beautifully. So
if you like a bit of Samurai Jack, we will hopefully get some panel recordings if we can try.
Yeah, we'll try. They're Indie PopCon's releasing every Tuesday. They're doing a live stream talking about who's coming from now until Indie PopCon, which is only 5 months away.
Yeah,
5 months away.
Something like that.
So, but anyways,
yeah.
Like I said, shameless plug: Facebook, Love 2 Gamers STL; Twitter, Love 2 Gamers STL; Patreon, Love 2 Gamers STL; Instagram, Love 2 Gamers STL.
Just Google Level 2 Gamers STL and you'll find us somewhere.
YouTube, Love2Gamers.com.
Yeah.
We actually Love 2 Gamers STL on there technically now too, but it's actually youtube.com/c/Level 2 Gaming still because you can't change your URL because we already did that. But
There you go.
our name is Love 2 Gamers STL. A little behind the scenes stuff. So, but anyways.
We're gonna do some recording. We're gonna record some video games for you guys. So we're gonna get off and do that. And
you're gonna get off. I'm not.
Got off. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. And as always,
welcome to the second level. Bye.
It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level gaming. Second